Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There was a Star Citizen panel at DragonCon with Dave Haddock and Jared Huckaby, captured on Periscope by the Star Citizen content creator Batgirl, that had some interesting information as well as an early work in progress teaser of the concept of the Origin X1 jet bike. This video is an overview of that with some of the holes filled in with other info that we know, links below for the original footage and transcript. Let's start with the sneak peek of the Origin X1 work in progress. We see a picture of its early concept and then a second pass concept. The ship could change a lot from this second pass, but we can see a lot of its planned intention. It's an upright sitting bike, looks like it's going to have a couple of size 1 weapons like the other bikes do. Doesn't look like they've got any plan to carry cargo with it, but it does look like it will protect the rider better than the other bikes. Expect speed and agility more like the Nox than the Dragonfly. If you want utility and cargo, that's the Dragonfly. Speed and maneuverability, the Nox. And the X1's probably aimed for luxury. That said, the X1 should certainly be competitive for racing the other open canopy vehicles. The ship should be on concept sale in the near-ish future. Patches and patch numbers and things. So it looks like the basic idea is that updates 3.1, 3.2 and major point patches, so 0.3, 0.4, will have major mechanics in, like mining for 3.1, salvage maybe for 3.2. That's going to be their patching process for it. They will update those point numbers when they have a major mechanic added, and there'll be lots of minor patches in between with ships and that sort of jazz. They may have a playable battle cruiser in the future, but they're unlikely to sell it on concept. It will be obtainable in-game. There will be mod tools in the future. They're going to develop something in the future for that, specifically for people, something more ergonomic and useful. They still plan to allow private servers as well, but they don't know what form that will take or what tools will be available for that. They're very much concentrating on Alpha 3.0, and as they get these things in, they'll develop them further. A question was asked about when do you plan to release a version 1 of the game, basically a commercial release. Right now, the game is in Alpha 3.0, it will eventually be in beta, and after that there will be a Star Citizen version 1 release, but there's nothing set in stone for that release at the moment. There's no confirmed dates, and there's no confirmed actual 100% what content will go into that V1 release. The plan is to continue to add content for 10 years plus after Star Citizen's release. The plan is to do one thing at a time, get 3.0 Alpha out first, and then we'll see more in the future. Planets and points of interest. Rexon Station-wise, it will be possible that we will see older ships that don't exist as flyable in the verse, in the form of debris and salvageable materials, and cool set pieces. So we might see like very old ships that we've heard about in lore. There may be some ability to discover planets and own outposts. In the future, they do want player-owned bases as well. There's been no real work on Earth yet, but Terra has been worked on quite a lot and was going to be their first system that we all congregated in before that it was decided that the Stanton system, fully fleshed out first, would be the better idea, as it contains almost a vertical slice of the universe, everything that they need to build the backbone of the game on. Water will be a major thing in Star Citizen, but they haven't been working on it too much, as they're concentrating on 3.0 at the moment. They still need to plan out the water mechanics, decide if ships sink, that sort of stuff, but they have previously talked about them wanting to have boats and things before as well, and underwater caves, they might be a possibility. Flying over planets in ships is a great means of travelling from A to B, but might not be the best way to discover and explore surfaces in detail of moons and planets. There will be environmental hazards and no-fly zones for ships too, as well as ground defences that may prevent a ship from flying everywhere. Ground vehicles are useful for a lot of different things, including exploring the surface in greater detail and getting around those flying restrictions. Ground-based scanners from vehicles might be better at detecting things on the ground as well, so ships might not be the best for searching for things in the ground in some situations, and they're very fast as well, ships. They'll just fly over stuff quite quickly, whereas the ground vehicle can search much more in detail. They're also working on cave tech for the future as well. It's on the development calendar. NPCs and AI, so you're going to be able to hire NPCs and players to do tasks for you, and you'll have the ability to use AI modules to like plug into a gun turret, so they can automate certain gun turrets. But having an AI that's not hired doing a more complex task like piloting a ship or delivering cargo is not the intention of the game. They want Star Citizen to be relatively hands-on with as many things as possible. Yeah, you can hire NPCs to do things, you can hire players to do things, but they want to avoid the extreme micromanagement and sim citizen, and they don't want just AIs that you don't have to pay for to be able to do things for you. AI in lore is a failed project, basically, and they use that to enforce the get behind the stick and flight yourself mentality. Aliens and alternative characters and alt accounts. They plan to have players discovered races and things in game, things that are majorly story changing effectively. There is no guarantee that there's going to be these major things on the day one release of the game. The game will have content constantly added to it after its release, though. So you're going to be able to visit the Kurthak at some point in Kurthak space and initiate some form of first contact with humans. And there's going to be huge story-changing events that players can find and set off as well. Alien creatures, it sounds like we'll be able to possibly capture alien animals in some form. And they talk a bit about some animals not being able to survive in the atmosphere of your ship, depending on what planet or moon they've come from. They're going to be looking at mechanics for transportation and exactly how they want animals and alien flora and fauna to exist on your ship. Can you poach them? Can you transport them? They're going to be fleshing out this, exactly what we can do with alien creatures, animals, pets, and hunting in the future. They do want some more unique alien creatures and races, some weird ones as well, that we might not be able to fly the ships of, because they're not built for humans, or bipeds, or other aliens, in fact, or whatever. So they might have lots and lots of limbs, or tentacles, or whatever, who knows. At the moment, humans are the only playable race. Game packages will allow you to create alt accounts. The longer term intention is to allow players to create Banu, Tavarin, and Xi'an, I believe, characters, but this is subject to change. Expect only humans on release day. Criminality, so there will be lots of reputation stuff. They haven't nailed down everything. They want reputation for individual players to have an effect on everything they do, but there's also an intention to have corporation, like whole corps being hired, or there be some form of reputation system for organisations and corporations. They haven't 100% got those mechanics down yet either. They're looking at them and they will evolve them in the future. Nothing's set in stone for that. For reputation as well, there's the intention of having the possibility of being able to bounty hunt, assassinate, and commit crimes if extremely well planned without much of a penalty. So if there's no witnesses, no black box, no camera or array to detect you, and you commit the crime in a very enclosed environment, then no crime is detected and you can get away with it. Though the theft of some items like ships, for example, just by possessing that stolen ship and it being seen with you would be enough to get you a criminal record. That's the idea. They haven't fleshed out all the systems for that at all, so that's going to keep on evolving, but that's basically the intention. There may be ways to hack your reputation and profile in-game to appear as another character, or with a different kind of reputation in some situations. So you could be seen as a good guy one day and a criminal the next. The idea being that people can experience various different parts of the game without having to get more than one account or more than one game packages or whatever. And it's unlikely to be like super easy to flip-flop and change your character rep. It will have restrictions and costs probably, and might only last for a certain time. It's very much a work in progress again, that system, but the idea of spoofing things and the idea of sneaking and stealth and subterfuge is all things that they've got on mind for the game. Some other stuff. So there was a lot of love for mechs and walkers on the Star Citizen dev team, but there was no confirmation of like mechs in game other than those Titan armor suits that we haven't really seen yet. We just know they're a big armor suit of some description. I think a lot of people hope that we do see some small mechs in the future, maybe. That would be pretty cool. The render-to-texture and secondary viewport tech allows them to have external cameras or remote cameras on ships, so they can help with your landing and visibility. You can have a belly cam on your ship, so you can see exactly where you're landing. They're also going to be using this tech for comms calls, mirrors, and other things too. They're going to explore exactly what they can do for it, and with the ergonomics of ship landing, they very much want to see different ways for you to, especially with capital ships and larger ships, have those cameras, have different ways of landing or easier ways of landing so that you don't just crash or smash everything underneath you, because obviously the vastness of a large ship is going to be quite tricky to land if you can't see what's directly underneath you. Fleet views. This is a tool so that you can see your fleet, see your ships, see your orgs, fleet and ships, and then coordinate them. That's on the list for development still as one of the org tools that they'll be working on. Turbulent are working on 3.0 at the moment. moment, but they will be working on those organisation systems. There are priorities in the meantime, though, that need to get worked on. Ben Nesnek, as well, is back at work on Tuesday. He had some issues with sight and required surgery, but it's good that he's coming back. Welcome back, Ben. Every month, we give away a ship. For September, it's a Nox Q. All you need to do is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos during the month. Do you have any questions about what was asked at DragonCon, or about Star Citizen 3.0 alpha stuff, or the development of the game in general? Links to everything that we've discussed is found down below as well. A special thank you to my Patreons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, you can find the link to Patreon below. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me as well. And I will see you in the verse.